Enshrouded's new update is massive, and in the past 2 weeks I've shared a ton of guides to help you find all the essential resources, an amazing endgame ranger build that literally destroys everything in its path, animal breeding, all the villager locations, and so much more. Today I want to get back to farming legendaries and talk about the best legendary gear spots I found since the release to farm for level 40 weapons, rings, and a whole lot more. Pick up amazing equipment for your adventures, which we've talked about earlier, but today I compile all the information in one big video with all the important things and hidden spots to know about. Let's get right to it. The new Mountains update is packed with new content, and there hasn't been a better time to rediscover Enshrouded with friends on a server. I've been using G-Portal for years now to host my community servers for not only Enshrouded, but also Valheim, Minecraft Don't Starve, Rust, and plenty more games. You can have your own server fired up and ready in just a matter of minutes for a competitive price. Be sure to use my official partner link in the description down below if you want to have a nice discount during checkout. On top of that, you will support the channel while you're at it, already very much appreciated. Alright, let's start off with something I think is pretty important to talk about, especially if you're doing single player. If you have a private world, what you can do is press edit right here. This is where you can, of course, change your world name, but also tweak with the difficulty sliders. I always like to do the regular 100% of everything. But yeah, if you want to make farming a little bit more efficient, this is definitely something interesting to look at, as right here you can increase your mining damage, plant growth speed, workshop production speed. If you want to have silver and steel bars a little bit faster, that's going to be awesome. But also your loot amount. I always have this set to 100, but you can put this on 150 or 200 if you want to save a little bit of time. So I've been exploring this world for a pretty long time. As you can see, I've got a ton of markers. I've been using different chest farms since day one. Actually, before that, because I had access to the Albaneve Summits update before it went live, collaborated with Keen Games for a couple videos. I already talked about all these on the Discord, but today I wanted to compile all the information in one single video. So you can start farming yourself, get your hands on the best gear. So first off, what I think is a very nice one is the one right here, in the Shroud, which can be found west of Wigmouth. This town can be accessed from the very beginning. What you want to do is run all the way to the top, and this is where you should be able to find a legendary chest hidden slightly behind this little jump. Comes with a truckload of legendaries and epics, while unfortunately it's not the highest level. Pretty close to it, you can also find a very nice place called Gateway Outpost Drifa. This is actually an amazing one to pick up all the best rings. The exceptional ring of health, the exceptional ring of stamina, and also the exceptional ring of mana. I'm actually using 2 of these with my new endgame ranger build, which I shared yesterday. The rest of the loot table right here is pretty low level, not amazing loot, but this is probably the best place to pick up these rings early, start your adventure in the mountains. So when you're on the top walls of the outpost, what you want to do is run inside right here, take a turn to the right, and this is a staircase that will lead you all the way to the top of this tower. This is also where you can pick up one of the new villagers, and yes, it's kind of blocked right now, but this is where I decided to place an altar. Every time you relock, you can basically access this chest. It also comes with a ring of frost, so 4 different rings. But the gear right here isn't amazing. So for that, you want to focus on searching for the highest level legendary chests. There are actually different ones. Let's first cover one I'm sure many of you guys have missed. Will probably still be a deadly shroud for you, but that's not much of a big deal, as you can just quickly pick up the chest right here and then leave the place afterwards. It's probably the best one to pick up staves and wands, because these drop quite frequently right here. We just also picked up an Aurora sword, so pretty nice. I'm gonna share more of the loot in a second, but this is where you wanna be. I decided to place my flame shrine just a little bit above the mist, so it's gonna be easy to farm this location, which can be found southwest of the spooky grave. Also an amazing one to pick up cosmetics, by the way. But if we zoom out, that's where you have the Balefire Garrison Windward. It's also slightly north of the Howling Peak. We're gonna talk about the loot in a second, but let's quickly check out another amazing legendary chest which can be found in the very same shroud, right next to the shroud root. Let me quickly deal with the Dementors right here, but this is where you want to be. Right next to the explosive keg, the entrance, this one will lead you into a little dungeon where you can also find legendary chests. Voila! Staff of the Taurus, very nice one as well, which can be found exactly right here, north of the gateway outpost Celeste. And south of it, we've got another route. Let me quickly deal with these fellas. You know what, let's skip the big guards. But if you jump on top of these walls, this is where you can find another legendary chest. Unfortunately, no legendary this time, but also the highest level possible. If I quickly open up the map, it can be found southeast of the Enshrouded Goat Farm. Also southeast of the Balefire Stronghold Iron Heart. But of course, if you're playing single player and can reset farm chests, the most interesting place would be, well, one right next to one where you don't have to deal with the shroud, right? This brings us to probably the best farm spot in the game, where you not only have legendary chests, but also 3 other chests with consumables. That's a superior health potion, we get improved bandages and more potions, sometimes also projectiles like arrows and magic. And the final prize, this legendary chest. We just picked up the powerful new Ring of Frost, and this time the Fogfall daggers. Next drop, Sandstorm Swiftblades, but there is much more to be found right here. Especially, I think, the obsidian and steel arrows that can pop up every now and then are also amazing for ranger builds. Look at that. There we have them. But most of the times, well, legendary weapons. These are all the legendaries I was able to secure after just a couple minutes of farming, but also some consumables. Experience scrolls, fire wisp summon, cleaned bandage, even the improved bandage, very nice. Also different types of potions, including the greater antidote. And the very nice Greater Shroud Survival Flask, which increases your time to be in the Shroud by another 4 minutes. 4 times the Ring of Frost, a whole lot of chain heals, we've got some fireballs, ice bolts, torn cloth from the smaller guys, and obsidian and steel arrows. Anyways, if you place your altar, it's important you stand right here. Check out the borders, these are allowed to hit the chest, but if you go a little bit further, that means the chest cannot reset. Well, I like to place my altar a little bit closer though, exactly right here, as this would make the legendary chest farm much more efficient in terms of time, or of course if you don't want to worry about all the consumables. Look at that, we just picked up an ignited hammer, I think an amazing one to make short work of the skeletons inside the hollow halls. During my tests and recording for all these chests, I was able to find a ton of different weapons. I think this is like almost every single one of them. If there's one I still miss, let me know in the comments down below. But let's go over every single one of them. So these right here are two-handed. These always come with the highest amount of damage. Right here you can see that these come with 62. But I think the Greater Thunder Blast Axe is an amazing one. Comes with 5%. Mana on hit leech basically increases your health regeneration. I think health leech is going to be even better though. The Darkwood Axe with increased critical hit damage, very nice to pierce enemies. And also the Deeproot Axe, also a lot of critical hit damage right there. We've got different types of wands, the Blizzard wand, the Ritual Tempest wand which we had earlier, the Mythic wand, and also the Helix. We also have different staves, the Hopeful Glimmer, the Crystal Water Staff, Staff of the Taurus, as well as Mirage. I think there is another one, which I'm still missing right here, but it's just a matter of time. The Avalanche Starter, probably one of my favorites. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find this one yet on the maximum level, but the reason why is because it comes with that sweet plus 20% critical hit damage, increased stamina regen, and also leech 5% as HP. Forsaken, don't really think this is a nice one because of the retaliation. Same with the Devilish Bow. Shadowbane though also comes with leech on both stamina and HP and backstab damage. Very nice with the build which we talked about earlier. Can be found at the top right of the screen, by the way. And yes, I'm also very much looking forward to making builds with all these different daggers. The Parade daggers, the ice-coated ones are pretty decent, while once again retaliation, not sure about that. The Night Nebula though, 2 times Merciless Strike, increase your merciless attack damage by 40%. Very nice one. This one also double retaliation, not very nice, but Fogfall Daggers also 2 times Merciless Strike and Poisoned Blades. Poison damage can be massively boosted with a couple talents, so very interesting to talk about in the future. We've got the Nova right here with a lot of critical hit damage. Aurora Sword, also pretty decent stats. The Inflamed Sword, the Rune's Master Sword, also nice for backstabbing and sneaking. The Ice Blade with a lot of critical hit chance. Major Arcana. Celestial Axe, I think, is also a very nice one with Brutal. Light Forged Axe, we've got the Lumen Shade Axe, the Hair Splitter, and also a couple of maces. The Frost Smasher with a ton of blunt damage, also nice if you want to deal with the Hollow Halls on a higher level. Can't wait for that update to pop up. The Frostwing Axe, the Mace of Wrath, Ignited Hammer. Wait a second, these two are also two-handed. Anyways, the Gore Striker, also a nice one with flat damage, as well as the Mace of Wrath. And of course, the Compound Bow. 3 times piercing armor, increase critical hit chance by 5%, and also restore 5 stamina with your skill shots. If you want to master the art of bow and arrow, dominate the mountains with a nice ranger build, be sure to check out mine in the top right of the screen, which I shared yesterday. All the items for this build can be found with, of course, the chests we just talked about. Anyways, that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed the content, a like would be very much appreciated. You have no idea how much you will help my channel in the algorithm. If you want to know more about the update, like for example, farming and breeding animals, I have guides for those on the channel as well. Be sure to check them out. And of course, if you have more questions, leave them in the comments down below. And guys, don't forget to check out G-Portal if you want to have a sweet discount on your servers. Right now though, it's 4 AM out. I want to wish you an amazing day. I'll check you in the next video or live stream. Peace.